Join us now, coming off back-to-back games with multiple tackles for loss, junior defensive end Will Heldt. You'll fire away with questions whenever you're ready.
Will, have you ever faced an offense like you did Saturday with all the different eye candy and variations they have and running the same play?
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely unique. They did a lot of different things schematically. Credit to them. What they do really well, and they executed their offense. And yeah, maybe a couple times in the past I've seen some similar things like that. Just trying to grab your eyes, get you looking somewhere else, and then hit you where you're not expecting it. But yeah.
What was the mood in after the Tech loss?
Obviously not great. Obviously a really disappointing result. Came down to the last play. That one definitely hurt. So not a good feeling. But I think we know where we're at, and I think we still have a lot in front of us, and we're just ready to get after it again.
Well, where do you think your drive comes from? You just drew a lot of praise for how you played against Tech. Where does that willingness to just go so hard every play come from?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just how I live my life. I think that's just who I am. Just gonna put my all into whatever I do. Yeah.
We're talking to Monte last week, and he was saying that the defensive line's been good, but you want to be elite. How much more do you feel like this unit can produce? I guess in terms of TFL sacks, all of that.
100%. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think we're just scratching the surface with what we can become, especially up front. I think we've done some good things, and there's also a lot of room for growth. So I think just building on what we've done, and then just continue to wreak havoc and just try to do our part.
Can you talk about your relationship with Coach Bowers and the impact that he's had on you?
Yeah, Coach Bowers is awesome. Obviously, Coach Rump also. But yeah, obviously a guy that played here, had an extremely successful career, and spent some time in the league. So just drawing on his experience has been really beneficial.
I guess what's the thing that gets you guys to that next level as a defensive line in terms of affecting the quarterback more?
Yeah, I think just continuing to play with more just reckless abandon, and just being as disruptive as possible. Just making the quarterback's life as hard as possible.
And I don't know if you've seen, but the ACC is allowing the broadcast to be able to hear what's going on between officials and the command center down on the field. So I don't know what your perspective is of that. Maybe watching other games, or maybe for fans, just being able to listen into a call, hear what's happening, hear the explanation. Do you feel like that's maybe important for people watching games?
I honestly hadn't heard of that. I haven't seen it, to be honest. But yeah, that's definitely interesting. Yeah.
Is it harder to play with reckless abandon as a defensive lineman when you have a quarterback when you're playing against a quarterback who's such a threat as a runner, and you having to keep your eyes?
Yeah, I think maybe when you're focused on where you're looking so much, I think it can be a little more difficult, just because you're kind of a little more focused on doing your job and being in the right spot. So I think I could see that.
Coach, you guys have 2 losses through the first 3 weeks of the season. I guess from a the defense perspective, you guys kind of feel pressure to kind of have to go make plays as the offense is maybe sputtering at times for you guys in games.
I mean, I wouldn't say so. I think at the end of the day, we're just going to focus on controlling what we can control, in my position room, on our side of the ball. And I think that's just how you have to approach it, because at the end of the day, what I do is not going to, how I feel about whatever's happening elsewhere is not going to affect, how I play. So I think just focusing on what I can control is most important.
Have there been any guys that have kind of stepped up and helped you guys, I guess, since like the Tech loss to now, in terms of being vocal, being leaders, that type of thing?
Yeah, I think on the defensive side of the ball, I think guys like Wade and Peter have been some vocal leaders for us that have been big and just setting the tone and the mindset of the team moving forward.
kind of new to this, but the meet at the pod tradition that you've experienced these couple of games that we've had at home, how great is that to experience kind of the highs and the lows with your fans?
Yeah, I think it's really special. It was really fun to do that. I think it's a lot more fun coming off a win, but yeah, I think that's a pretty cool tradition, and it's always fun to interact with the fans and just talk to them.
Any additional questions for Will? All right, Will, thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys.